live.
Well, welcome everybody to Ashland, Nebraska and the Birdcage, where we are moments away between an absolutely intriguing matchup between the number 3 rated team in Class C1, the 16-1 Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays. They are hosting the Boys Town Cowboys, just 6-7 on the year. But don't let that fool you, folks, because I'm telling you, these Cowboys are playing tough. They come into here winning 3 out of their last 4. And this is a team that is on a roll. It should be a good one. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Washburn. And man alive, I'm joined by, after these big crews that I've been joined by lately, I'm joined by just one other guy tonight, but he's not just anybody. He is the absolute Hall of Famer down in Beatrice, in my opinion. All the great athletic endeavors he had down there, including playing for a state championship for Jim Weeks in high school. Then he went on to be an All-American at Hastings College as a tight end. Mr. Jordan Wallman. Jordan, good to be back in the booth here.
Hey, it's good to be here. There was starting to be a little bit of a rumor or a perception that I only showed up for the big games. But hey, and tonight's a big game, so I guess we can continue to push that narrative. No, but it's fun. This will be a great game tonight. 2 teams that really can get up and down, have a lot of talented players, and we're in for a good one tonight, Tim.
Boy, it's going to be fun, and the crowd is getting in here after having a couple of home games where there hasn't been a huge crowd on hand. Tonight, just the opposite. People are showing up for this one because they feel it in the air. This could be a real intriguing one between Boys Town and the Blue Jays. And the reason people feel this, the Cowboys, boy, they have been on a roll. 3 out of their last 4 they've won. When you break it down, they come in here with a real chance to play these Blue Jays close, and they're sniffing an upset. Tell us why, Jordan.
You know, we're going to kind of toss some data out right here, some basketball nerd data, and that's going to be shots taken per game. So on the absolute high end, Blue Jays play fast. They're going to take 55 shots a game, 2s and 3s combined. You know, you hope to make a good majority of those, but that means you're playing fast. First 4 games of the season, Boys Town is taking 85 to 75 shots per game. Number 1, it tells it the pace they play, and number 2, it tells it the shot selection might not be there, and they went 0-4 in those games. More recently, they've dropped that number to anywhere from 65 to 55, which is still playing incredibly fast, but their shooting percentages have also arisen. So and they're 6-2 in that last stretch, getting into a lot of good teams and playing fast. But from what we know of these guys, they're headed by Malachi Washington. This is our 4th year watching him. The kid's a stud. He's every piece of 6'6". He's long and athletic, and he presents all sorts of challenges for the Blue Jays tonight.
Going to be so much fun to watch. We've seen some great ones this year. But, you know, Jordan, you're the guy that always tells me, you say it is all about matchups. And I can throw out a bunch of defensive stats that this Blue Jay squad has put up. In fact, they are only giving up just over 33 points a game on the season. They do a lot of great things. But this isn't so much about defense. This is about the matchup. So how does that sit for the Big Blue when they go up against a team that likes to push it up the court?
Yeah, so they push up the court, but then they also want to shoot a lot of threes. A lot of guys on their team shooting up shots. They got a couple guys averaging 11. Malachi's getting 16 and 11 boards a game. But what Coach Mose kind of talked about today when we were talking is you need to contest those threes, 1, and then 2, you have to close out possessions with defensive rebounds. 3-point attempts are going to result in long rebounds. You got to close out those rebounds, and then you also need to play well in transition. Because if I remember right from Malachi, he was a monster in transition.
How good has this Blue Jay defense been? Well, they win a conference championship on Saturday night. They had to go to DC West, play it on their home court. It was a tight one. But the Blue Jays held DC West, a very good shooting team, to just 2 points in the third quarter. It was really the difference in the game. The Blue Jays able to hang on to a 9-point win. And again, this D, though, going to be tested by Boys Town. Break it down for us, Jordan.
You know, a lot of times the Blue Jays want to use schemes. They want to use ball pressures. They want to use run and jumps, speed that pace up. But Boys Town's going to want to play at a fast pace tonight as well. So I think tonight is just as much of being solid, maybe not biting on some of those long 3-point attempts that pull defenders out of the lane. But it's just going to be so critical to rebound. You know, you can't give a 3-point shooting team 2 or 3 chances at making shots. You can't lunge and jump when Boys Town goes up to shoot, because then that creates driving lanes and breakdowns. The one-on-one matchups are going to be huge tonight. I'm not sure what our plan is, but the Blue Jays guards are going to have to play really well. And then, you know, I'm just going to say it again for the sake of repetition, is we got to box out on defense. That's a huge thing for me as a coach. When I was coaching, I know that's a huge thing that Mose talks to the boys with as well.
Well, let's talk about Malachi Washington. The Blue Jays, boy, as you've mentioned, we've seen him now for the 4th year in a row. The Blue Jays are very familiar with this young man. He is terrific, averaging 16.5 points. But if that's not enough, he is 3rd in All-State in rebounds, averaging almost 12 boards a game. He does it all for them. He's shooting 46% from 3, 44% overall. Tell us a little bit about how the Blue Jays can try to slow him down tonight. And he's joined by Nairi Petit, who's also a deadly shooter as well.
Yeah, so Malachi in the past has been huge in transition. He's a type of kid at 6'6", long and athletic. And he's a very long 6'6". He's going to feel more like 6'7", 6'8". He's kind of been able to get whatever shot off he wants. So Blue Jays would kind of get him in some of those over his over his right shoulder, left-handed jump hooks or an 8-foot jump hook. And then he got a lot of his scoring done in transition. But this year he's shooting at a really high clip from 3, and his 2-point percentage is down a little bit. So that's tough because it brings your post defender out of the lane, opens up driving lanes. He's a great right-handed driver as well. But, I mean, we're talking elite college-level athleticism in a 6'6", strong body frame for Malachi.
And he's got some college offers, looking at some NAIA schools and possibly some others. Very talented player. It is going to be fun to watch Malachi Washington and the cast of characters around him. And as I mentioned, Nairi Petit, who's averaging 11.2 points a game. And he recently just got back into the starting lineup, and we'll talk about the advantage that has really brought for this Boys Town team once he got into that lineup. So, folks, we are going to pause now as our athletic director, Dustin Detterding, he is right now reading the sportsmanship creed here at Ashland-Greenwood, and then he will be introducing the national anthem for the Ashland-Greenwood Boys Town game. So we're going to pause now for that.
To honor America, please stand and remove headgear as the Ashland-Greenwood Band, under the direction of Shelby Burr, plays our national anthem.
All right, we've got the national anthem in. That means it's time for the starting lineups. We're going to start out with the 6 and 7 Boys Town Cowboys. Tom Crable in his 22nd year leading out Boys Town tonight here at Ashland-Greenwood. And it will be Nairi Petit, the 5'9", sophomore, averaging 11.2 points a game, shooting 37% from beyond the arc. Zev Thomas, the 5'9" senior, who's averaging over 2 steals a game and 4.2 points. He'll be tough for the Blue Jays to take on. And then you've got Zach Taylor, the 6-foot senior, averaging 11.5 points a game, shooting 40% from 3. Malachi Washington, we mentioned him, the 6'6" senior, who is averaging 16.5 points, 11.5 rebounds, and shooting 46% from 3 and 43% overall. And Darian Whitaker, a 6'5" sophomore, is really coming on of late, averaging 2 points and 4 boards a game. And for your Blue Jays, same way they've gone in all 18 games. Dane Jacobson, the 6'2" junior, averaging 6.8 points. He'll be joined by Cade Bridges, averaging just under 10 points a game, shooting 46% from 3. He's a 6-foot senior. 6'2" senior Brooks Kissinger does it all, 16.5 points, shooting 57% overall. Cougar Consom, a 6'3" senior. Boy, he's having a great season, averaging just over 9 points a game and shooting 33% from beyond the arc. And then the enforcer, Dawson Teese, the 6'2" junior, averaging just over 3 points and 4 boards a game. It will be Kissinger going up against Malachi Washington. A decided advantage here for Washington as the officials TJ Butler, Matt Thermes, and Eric Wymore get ready to officiate the game. And Brooks just steps back and gives it up to Washington. And here come the Cowboys on their opening possession. And they will work it off the left wing against this man-to-man defense that has been awfully good. Washington fade away from 11, won't go, and there's Kissinger on the board.
Yeah, that Malachi, he'll take any shot that he's looking for there, a little 15-foot fade away.
Bridges has it tipped away. Who's going to track it down? That was actually Jacobson, who nearly had it stolen, but there's Cougar quick hands, and he'll work against the man-to-man defense here. The Cowboys. Brooks gets it in the paint. Dane working. He got another haircut, so I'm having a hard time identifying Dane tonight. And here comes Kissinger with a little stutter step. Dumps it off to his senior compatriot down on the paint. He has nowhere to go, and the Blue Jays track down the loop basketball. Good D by Boys Town here to start things off.
Yeah, and Boys Town is large. They're going to go 6'6", 6'5" on the inside, both strong, big bodies.
What a great look by Bridges to the great Dane Jacobson, and it's 2-0 Big Blue.
Yeah, right on cue. Dane goes ahead and gets on the inside and scores a good one. Good cut, good action, good find from the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays, what will they do defensively here on the second possession for the Cowboys? Here's a pull-up three, and knocks it home. Zach Taylor shooting 40% from three, gives the Cowboys a 3-2 lead.
You know, they're going to shoot in bunches, and they're going to shoot a lot, so they're not afraid to pull from three, and Blue Jays got to get up and contest those.
Kissinger inside, make that Jacobson. Beautiful feed that time by Consom to find Dane, but nothing there. That size makes a difference inside for Boys Town, boy. Here comes Kissinger. He comes down hard, kicks it out to Bridges. Back up top, Brooks with an open three, and bingo, he has it.
Great action from the Blue Jays. Really patient, really looking for great shots there. Brooks kind of gets left with no one guarding him and buries a big three.
Already seen 2 threes made in this game. It's 5-3 now, Blue Jays early on. Working inside there is Taylor. He just hit the three. Here is a three ball put up and good by Washington.
I tell you, it's a good night to be a three-point shot right now. Everybody's hot on a pistol.
6-5. Here comes Cougar down in the block, looking to get over Washington. Got the bucket. Blue Jays regain the lead at 7-6.
That's a hard shot. Good 2-foot action from Cougs, but he's jumping over 6'7" and athletic.
Here we go. As they're working it now, a lot of scoring early on. You got to think this pace favors Boys Town here if they can keep scoring like this. And that is Poteet, who's been very quiet early on. Poteet off the left wing by Kissinger. Now he'll get a screen, try a three. It won't go. It's tipped out of bounds off of Teese. It will stay Boys Town ball.
You know, even kind of there, Poteet's kind of taking a look at things and looks to make a pass, and that draws the Blue Jay defender away, and he kind of resettles his feet and pulls. I mean, you know, at any given time, if a guy's open, that's a chance for a three-point make.
They'll take it out underneath their own bucket as Poteet will get the inbounds pass. Gets in the paint, looks, kicks it out. Here comes a three ball put up by Taylor. He hit one earlier, not this time, though, as Washington tracks down an offensive board. He is a big kid. And here's another three by Poteet. He says, I'll try it again. No good. And now we got a foul on Washington, his first of the game, and the first foul for either team.
And even there, just the presence of those Boys Town rebounders going 6'5" and 6'7" on the inside makes one defensive rebound get loose, and then Washington does a great job pulling down the other one. But those are going to turn in shot attempts for a Cowboys team that shoots it really well.
Drake Zimmerman in the game, talented junior. Can really play D, averaging about 6 points a game. Here's a feed to Zimmerman in the paint. Ball fake, got it up, a little short, and the rebound coming down to Boys Town. They're running out of there with it. This is Taylor, a little crossover dribble. Jacobson trying to hang, but he got a pick and hits the left-handed layup. Boys Town with the 8-7 lead.
Got to play shooters for shoot and drive, but hits a couple, takes a couple, and Dane bites on the pump and open lane to the basket.
Blue Jays struggled in the first quarter against DC West last week, and they're having a bit of a struggle early on. And now here's a tie-up as Kissinger went to the rim, and they were able to tie him up, but the possession arrow favors the Big Blue.
Love the way Blue Jays are driving. They're playing off 2 feet. Not out of control, but just right now not getting a lot to fall.
Great feed to Konzum. His shot rejected by Washington. Malachi's got to be a little careful, though. He's already got one foul. And now here's Kissinger again. Ball fake, step back. Thought about that three, but find Cougar instead. Cougar, left baseline drive. Pulls up. There was Washington. Great help, D. He's going to swat at the ball and got partially blocked. But look at Jacobson. He tips it back out. Who's going to get the board this time, Cowboys?
Good scramble. Great shots on the inside, but, Malachi is 6'7", long, athletic. He's going to alter some shots.
Petit in trouble. Blue Jays track him down. Now in the game here, Zach Thomas, he'll put up a three, won't go, and the rebound down to Konzum. Beautiful positioning by Konzum.
Great defensive rebound, gonna need a lot of those tonight.
Blue Jays down one, trying to get the lead back, but there's a turnover as Dane had it swatted away and stolen, and walking out of there with it is Zach Taylor. Taylor with a left-handed dribble, got a screen, pull-up jumper, can't get it to go. There's Dane on the rebound.
It's a lot.
It's going fast tonight,
yeah,
isn't it?
it is. A lot of possessions aren't lasting more than 10 seconds.
As Kissinger working off a screen. He'll get in the paint. Got a couple of guys in the air. Drake's trying to take over. Again, this defense in the interior for Boys Town been so good, hasn't it, Jordan?
It has, and they do a great job defensive rebounding as well, Dawson.
Yeah, Dawson Teese with an illegal screen there, and it sounded like you agree with that call there.
Yeah, and Dawson, that's something he's working on is getting more active in the screening game and creating for Brooks. And, I know those conversations are being had and something he wants to do, but there he just really focused on making contact with Brooks' defender, slides over and gets himself in a little trouble.
So in the game now, Luke Clark, Cade Bridges, Drake Zimmerman, Cougar Konzum, and Brooks Kissinger for the Big Blue. Boys Town will work it and go four cross down on the block there. Here's a spin move by Taylor. Fadeaway won't go, and there's going to be an over-the-back call on Antoine Izzard, the 6'2 senior who just checked in as well.
Yeah, that's kind of big. That's 2 times already as Boys Town attacks offensive rebounds that they've called that. So ref crew is kind of showing. They don't want to see a lot of that tonight, but, that could be big for the Blue Jays if they get position and work tonight.
Antoine Carter in the game, and Gomes, there's a three. Bingo! Big Blue as Cougar Konzum hits from the right corner.
Love that from Cougs. He's kind of had some ups and downs this year, and there he doesn't show any lack of confidence. It was a good shot. He passed up a couple already, but big shot for the Blue Jays.
There's a little dribble penetration that's shut off nicely by Zimmerman. Got a little help, and then nearly a turnover there as Carter got it off to Gomes, who came in off the bench and nails a three-pointer for Boys Town. They have an 11-10 lead.
I'll tell you, that looks good off the hand from Carter. He's not a starter, taking a hot pull right there, but it was good from the second to left.
Here comes Bridges. Can he answer with a tray? Bingo!
Tell you what, Tim, it's enough threes for a game in the first quarter from both teams, but great inside out. Oh, that's double dribble. Yeah.
There's the call. Yep. And I'll tell you, give Zach Taylor credit.
Yeah.
I mean, he said, I'll see if they can touch it. And that was oh so close. Bridges almost did get his hand on the basketball.
Yeah, and it was kind of a goofy play. He kind of lost control and almost tried to bait Cade into getting a hand on it, but right call was made.
And Coach Grable saying the same thing I just said is, hey, I think it got touched. And it almost did. So Taylor almost made something out of nothing. Here comes Kissinger in the paint, kicks it out to Konzum, bounce pass to Zimmerman, a little too much, and there's Washington on the board. Back the other way quickly. Boys Town, they love that transition game. The Blue Jays knew they'd have to be disciplined tonight, getting back so far so good.
Yeah, doing a great job. Set coming. Gotta think it's going to go to Washington. Little post-to-post action.
And there's Carter down in the corner. Work it back to him. He's a lefty. And here's a long three by Gomes. He's already hit one. Won't get that one. Ball loose. Bridges with a nice job on the block out on Carter. Long pass to Zimmerman. Zimmerman working with 3 men around him. It's got to be someone open. And it's stolen. Nice hands out there by Gomes. Gomes running. Step through. Off the glass. Too much. And there's the board by the Big Blues. Kissinger rips it down. Blue Jays want to run. Clark shows the basketball and then is fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. And, folks, if you like offense, you came to the right place tonight.
Yeah, this is kind of hard to get a word in, but that's kind of what you want, The action's happening so fast. Both teams getting out and running. I've been really impressed with the way the Blue Jays are running and really getting defensive rebounds. But I'll tell you what, once again, every time one of those shots goes up from Boys Town, it looks good off the hand. These boys are confident, and shout out to Coach Crable. Instilling confidence in these boys to know that, if they miss, they're not going to get it taken out of the game.
Luke Clark just hit that first free throw to give the Blue Jays a 3-point lead with 50 seconds to go. Shooting 59% from the line is Luke Clark. Second free throw for Luke, and he got them both. And, to your point, Jordan, I talked with Coach Grable before the game. He felt good. He felt like his team's playing some really nice basketball. They kind of worked through some things. As I mentioned, Nairi Poteet, he inserted him in the starting lineup. He feels like Poteet does a really good job in transition. It's really helped the offense. Gomes gets to see the game a little bit off the bench, and here's a steal and then a quick foul going to be called, I think, on Poteet. And you have that because Deshaun Gomes was starting most of the season. He's averaging 10.5 points a game. But Coach Grable said one advantage for him coming off the bench, and you can appreciate this as a coach, is that he gets to see the game on the bench, kind of let the game come to him, then he inserts him and plays very well.
Yeah, and, it's a good blessing to have a couple guys that are scoring over 10, and I'm kind of surprised tonight how many shots we haven't seen Malachi take so far. But that's just a product of guys getting out and playing fast and taking shots when they're available.
Blue Jays going to go for one. They'll either be up 4, 6, or 7 is what they hope if they don't get a turnover. What a beautiful cut and pass to Bridges. Oh, he missed it. But there's Kissinger. Put back 3. Won't go. Rebound down to Washington with 3 seconds. Washington will get a shot from half court. Going to be short. But an incredible cut by Cade Bridges. Wasn't able to finish. Great look inside. Yet the Blue Jays have that 15-11 lead going into quarter number 2.
Yeah, it's been fun. A lot of threes shot, a lot of threes made. Blue Jays doing a great job running in transition, getting out and running with it. But at the same time, this Boys Town team is going to shoot a lot and they're going to make a lot. And that's tough because you can't go out there and guard them all the way through. But Blue Jays have done a great job getting defensive rebounds and busting out the other way.
Well, if you look at this, even though this was a big offensive quarter for both of these teams, as we saw 26 points put up, but Malachi Washington averaging 16.5. Blue Jays want to hold he and Poteet to 22 points or less. Poteet did not score. Washington with just 3.
Yeah, overall, too, the shots that he shot were a corner 3 that was slightly contested and then kind of a 15-foot turnaround jumper. So, from a Blue Jay defensive standpoint, those are shots that you'll live with. Just got to be careful because he's the type of kid that gets a couple transition opportunities. He can get himself hot really quick.
Well, Blue Jays come out to start this second quarter. They're going to start the way they started the first quarter with Dawson Teese, Cade Bridges, Dane Jacobson, Brooks Kissinger, and Cougar Konzum. And for Boys Town, there's Washington out there quickly, as well as Zeph Thomas. You've got Darian Whitaker, who started that first quarter, along with Zach Taylor, and there is Poteet. So the same way they started the game as well. And there's quick steal by the great Dane Jacobson. He's running the court. He'll take it in himself and score.
Defense creating offense, and the Blue Jays are off and running.
Back the other way. We got a whistle, and there's going to be a block and a foul on the big blue. But Dane with the quick hands, the steal, the length of the court, and the bucket did it all on that possession.
Yeah, and you want to see those steals capitalized, or you want to see those opportunities capitalized on.
I like it.
And Dane did a good job taking care of it himself. He had some guys chasing him down, but playing fast and playing well.
Here come the Cowboys. The other way, they're down 6. This is their biggest deficit of the game to start this second quarter. Poteet's going to try to get it into Washington. He's been quiet, kicks it out to the corner as they're working here on Thomas, who will pull up and hit the J. Just a 2. It's 17-13.
Even there, Malachi tracks a lot of attention. He has gravity to him, but he does a great job on the kick out. Almost a 3, but just long 2.
Well, Coach Grable says, let's try a zone. So they go 2-3. The enforcer has a strip stolen. Running is Whitaker. Long outlet pass to Poteet, but a little too long. He goes up to the stage. Not a place where he wanted to be tonight. He'd rather be on that basketball court. But that outlet from Whitaker just a hair too far.
Yeah, and that's tough because, once again, you want to capitalize on those opportunities, but Boys Town kind of doing a good job varying their looks.
And the Cowboys come right back and pressure. Blue Jays easily dissect it. Konzum comes down on 2 feet, kicks it back out. Beautiful look for Bridges. No, short. It was a pass to Dawson Teese. And a quick timeout by Coach Grable, 19-13. I'm bailing Bridges out by saying that was a pass.
We had kind of the same situation last night. And I told Suzanne she can put it down in her stats however she wants. We'll see what Mark stats it up as. But great job by Dawson when the when a defense goes into a zone, you can kind of get lost like that, especially in the first couple possessions. And good job, Dawson, kind of hanging around, finding some work.
Coach Crable with a very quick timeout after that bucket. What did he see?
I think they made some switches, showed a 2-3 zone. They showed a little 2-2-1 full court press, which is super useful with a 6'6" kid like Malachi in the back end. But just kind of some mental mistakes early, and you change up the defense to get yourself back in the game, not to create that deficit and make it bigger. So he's chewing a little butt right now, but see if it get going.
What are the Blue Jays doing to really hold Washington in check early on?
Even on that last possession, Malachi gets it, and Cade Bridges comes down as a help side defender, makes him uncomfortable. We see some more small actions happening, but I think for starters, Dawson is a big, strong body guarding him. But the Blue Jays are letting Malachi have a little gravity, and they're not letting him get into a lot of one-on-one situations.
Out of the timeout come the Cowboys, down 6. Trying to cut into this lead. As Petit will feed Washington down the block. Boy, he's getting a lot of attention by the Big Blue. He clears a little space, and he hits the little floater. Nicely done by Malachi.
Yeah, good job. He uses his physicality to kind of create a little space and hit a 4-foot float shot.
Blue Jays again easily defeat the pressure, and then here's Konzum trying to work down there against Whitaker. Bounce pass to Jackson Ham. The Hammer with a great wraparound pass to Kissinger. He's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2, but a no-look wraparound by the senior Jackson Ham.
Yeah, that's something that we haven't seen from Jackson this year. That was an A-plus pass. I didn't see the foul on Brooks, but the ref from the C position on the far side said that he saw it.
5th team foul on Boys Town, and Kissinger hits that first free throw. And here you go, Jordan. It wasn't long ago where Brooks was shooting 55% from the line. He's increased his percentage to 75%, just goes 2 of 2 there. What's he doing differently?
I don't know. Maybe he's just kind of settling in. He's getting fouled more often, and I know he had some free throws late in the DC West game, but a kid that drives as much as Brooks, that's a good thing to be a good free throw shooter.
Washington puts up a 3 that will not go, and the Great Dane gets tipped in the head by Poteet, but no call by the official. I think Dane was hearing about the Academy Awards just announced the other day, though might have given a little bit of a performance.
Hey, and why not? They're showing a willingness to call it. Why not?
You bet. So here comes Jacobson. The Great Dane in the paint with a little spin move. Finds Kissinger. Brooks kicks it out. Here's Cougar for a 3. B-I-N-G-O for the Big Blue.
Hey, a little disclaimer for the program today. There's going to be a lot of bingos apparently, so buckle in and turn on that TV if you need to.
Thank you for doing that, partner. Here we go. Whitaker off the glass. Nice feed by Thomas. And it's now 24-17.
Blue Jays getting a little chasing there, 3-pointers, and Whitaker does a great job kind of being around, finding work for a little dump down pass.
And here's the Hammer in trouble down the block. Again, he has a nice pass to Kissinger. Boy, Brooks better say to his senior colleague, thank you, partner, because Jackson's found him with a couple of nice passes early on.
And what an asset. Sometimes that play side short corner is really your attacking position offensively. Jackson doing a great job using a power dribble to get to good space, playing strong through contact, and finding Brooks with 2 great passes.
Off a screen to Bridges, why not? But Cade can't knock that down, but there's Kissinger flying through the air. He tries a wraparound pass, but Boys Town's not falling for it. Here's Bridges on a steal. Brooks gonna attack. Oh, he glides and holds himself in the air and hits it with the left hand.
That was nice. That was a dipsy-do. That was whatever adjectives we've used in the past. Yeah, really athletic move from Brooks.
Here's Washington. When he gets it, he's got 3 Blue Jays around him. Here's another pass inside, but not even looking at his Poteet will try the 3, and he got what the doctor ordered for Boys Town, a 3-pointer.
Yeah, that's big. Blue Jays going a little bit of a run there. Washington, once again, attracting so much gravity, rightfully so, and he kicks it out for a good kick-out 3 to Petit.
8 3-pointers between both teams in this game, and here's a block by Whitaker. 8 3-pointers, folks, in this basketball game with 4:21 to go in the second quarter. We have not yet played quite a quarter and a half, and we've seen 8 of them.
Yeah, and along with that disclaimer for the bingos, there's probably a lot more coming, and I've known Tim Washburn a long time, and I've never seen him stop doing it. So, and we want you to do it, Tim, both ways.
Well, we got a little tweet. Here's the first free throw by Kissinger from a fan, I believe, in Raymond Central, and she said, I enjoy you announcers, but you're going to break my stereo with the bingos. Here's the second one. My speakers, I should say. No one has stereos anymore.
Yeah.
As Kissinger misses the first, got the second. So, Jordan, thanks for the disclaimer. As it's now 27-20. Big Blue with 4:21 to go here. Trying to put a little distance between Boys Town, but every time they do, it seems like the Cowboys come up with a big make.
Yeah, and, you can kind of even see offensively in that last possession for Boys Town, Malachi really wanted that ball. He's posting up strong. He's got his hand out asking for it. But when he gets it, the Blue Jays are really converging. So he's making the right reads. He's the best player. He's a college basketball player, but he's making the right reads, kicking the ball out. And if they keep hitting shots like that, they're going to stick around for a little bit.
And, folks, we got a special halftime guest. Is Coach Ryan Thompson, the football coach here at Ashland-Greenwood. He's going to join us to kind of go over last season and preview this upcoming season and tell us a little bit about what he's been up to in the offseason. You talk about a guy that knows Boys Town. How about Ryan Thompson? There have been some great football games between the Blue Jays and the Cowboys on the gridiron.
Yeah, it's been one of those matchups in football and basketball that I really look forward to going to, being a part of it. And I'll tell you, this past fall, he got into a little bit of a barn burner with Boys Town.
That's right.
Did a great job coaching the boys and get them to a victory there.
Well, this Boys Town basketball team hoping to have something similar tonight. And so far, they've got the Blue Jays' attention, down just 7 points midway through the second quarter, taking on the number 3 rated team in Class C1. And out of the timeout, Boys Town's going to attack from the left baseline. Shot up no good, but he is fouled. And going to the line is going to be Zach Taylor, the 6-foot senior, to shoot 2.
Even there, once again, Zach Taylor shown a lot of threes tonight, shown a willingness to shoot threes, and so that just makes you play a step tighter because you want to contest. That tightness opens up a driving lane for a really athletic left-handed drive, helps that defense, slips over and picks up the foul.
Taylor, yes, go ahead, partner.
Go ahead,
I stepped on you. Shooting 58% from the line. Go ahead, Jordan.
Those threes are useful because sometimes they go in, but it also makes defenders guard you a little differently.
And look out, he hits both of them to make it 27-22. 4:08 to go here in the first half as Bridges stays out of trouble, gets it to Tease. Great feed underneath the Cougar. The senior working, and there's Washington with a block. And tracking it down, no. Someone stepped out of bounds, and they're going to say it was Gomes. We've already seen 2 big rejections by Malachi Washington tonight on the Blue Jays. He doesn't go for that ball fake, does he?
No, and he's a quick jumper. He's a high pointer. Those guys really – and there's an art to blocking a shot. There's a skill level to it as well, and he has that.
Been playing great D, but so far just 3 points in the game, averaging almost 17. And here comes Tease. Blue Jays working against this 2-3 zone. Boys Town had started a man-to-man. They switched up into this 2-3. Try to slow down this Blue Jay offense, which has been on a tear. Bridges will try a 3. He's going to be short. And there's Tease, the enforcer, put back in good.
Really good by Dawson. A good second jump to get back up before Malachi can even know what's going on. That's really actually an extremely high-level play from Dawson.
4 points for him tonight. Blue Jays up 7. Boys Town with the ball. Washington with a rare touch, going to shoot a 15-footer. And boy, what a smooth stroke for Malachi Washington.
That's in the game of basketball. It's a rather low percentage shot, but a guy like Malachi, he's plenty skilled. He's plenty comfortable taking that shot, and he stepped into 2 of those tonight and looked pretty good with them.
And there's a turnover that the pressure caused. Blue Jays up 5, but Boys Town with the basketball, and that's what happens, right? You break it a couple of times, it looks easy and simple. Coach Crable says, wait a minute, I know we're going to put some pressure on him, and then he gets the turnover.
Yeah, and he's trying to pick up that pace as well. He wants to get his boys out. He wants to get them a lot of shots and get them in the rhythm of the game. So press is working well right now. It's probably one of the best looks they've shown against the Blue Jays.
22 years as a head coach here at Boys Town. Washington again with a 15-footer. That one might have been partially blocked, but let's see. Went out of bounds. It's going to say air ball. Now, Washington is pointing and saying, Tease blocked that shot, but the officials are not paying attention.
Nice. Good job, Dawson, getting a piece of that thing.
Yeah, he got up, didn't he?
Yeah.
And so back the other way. You don't see Washington miss by about 2 feet on that. Here's a great feed into the Great Dane. He's just going to go strong and up and over and gets the bucket.
Really good play. Dane's actually going to fake a little pass to the outside, kind of mess with the rhythm of the defender, and use that to make a little 4-footer.
Back up 7. Look at Thomas. Fly through the air. Gets the left-handed layup, and it's back to 5.
Nice move from Thomas. It's a high skill. and he's moving pretty fast doing that.
He's right at his average of 4 points. Bridges going to dump it off to Zimmerman. Zimmerman working circles in the paint, but it's stolen. And running out of there is Thomas. 2-on-2 break. Thomas going to go step through, right-handed layup, acrobatic. It's a 3-point game.
That speed, the Blue Jays pitch that ball ahead, and it turns into a turnover on the inside.
Oh, there's another turnover, and a foul, and a bucket. Oh, boy. Drake had a couple turnovers in a row. That one a little bit costly as Poteet able to grab the ball out of midair in the backcourt, hits the bucket. He was quiet. He was shut out in the first quarter, but all of a sudden Poteet with 5 points and going for his 6th here.
And that's the value of the press. We've talked about it when we run it, but here Boys Town, last couple of possessions, created a turnover, created a missed layup, then created 2 more turnovers, and that's led to them getting right back in this game.
Washington with the board. Can Boys Town take the lead off the glass? They do at 32-31.
Tough little stretch for the Blue Jays right here. Good offensive possession will get them back on track.
Washington has exploded in the second quarter. Here's a foul. A block's going to be called on Elijah Brown-Jones. And so
1-1.
That should be a 1-1. That is the 8th team foul on Boys Town. The Blue Jays with 4. And at the line, I believe, is Brooks Kissinger, who is 3 of 4 tonight.
That's tough. Blue Jays have been struggling to break it, and there Brooks kind of gets in a dribble break situation, which a lot of times is what you want as a press runner, and it could result in free throws now.
So Kissinger, front end of a 1-and-1, too hard, and there's Elijah Brown-Jones with the rebound there, and here comes some penetration by Boys Town. They already lead by 1. There's a double dribble going to be called on Antoine Carter. But my goodness, Jordan, the Blue Jays were up by 9. They now trail 32-31.
Yeah, and they were getting a lot out of their offensive possessions. They stagger a little bit, go about 5 possessions without scoring, and Boys Town really capitalizes off turnovers.
And they have been able to create some against this pressure. After the Blue Jays easily beat the pressure early, the pressure seems to be bothering the Big Blue. And here comes a nice screen for Bridges. No, and Elijah Brown-Jones has it knocked away, and the rebound on to Washington. He'll kick it out. Boys Town stunning this crowd here in Ashland, Nebraska tonight with a 32-31 lead for the Big Blue late second quarter. And here's Brown-Jones, turnaround jumper, way too hard. There's Washington. He's fouled by Teese. Teese made him work hard. And now Malachi Washington going to line. Dawson Teese extended his hand to Malachi, but Malachi did not want to take that hand and get helped up.
Yeah.
It's getting a little chippy in
and
there.
I don't blame him. Dawson wants to make sure they don't get the and one, but Dawson's kind of pulling on some shoulders. But hey, you're a strong kid, and you're guarding one of the best players in the state. I appreciate the passion. I was there plenty of times in my career where you're guarding an all-state player, and I personally was nowhere near that caliber. So you got to be physical, but I don't blame Malachi. That was good. That was a tough one.
He hit the first free throw. By the way, Washington, he does everything well, including free throws. He's shooting 75% for the season coming in. Missed the second one, though, as soon as I said. And there he is on the offensive board, though. Got a tip out by Zach Taylor with 52 seconds to go. The Blue Jays down 2. What will Coach Crable do here? Will they attack? Will they wait? Gomes going to pull up. Tough shot. Won't go. And there is going to be Jacobson. Long outlet to Bridges. Bridges feeds Cougar. He'll go up against Washington and ties it at 33.
Cougs did a great job kind of using his body to shield it. Shield the layup, shield Malachi away from him. Got a good finish, and Blue Jays capitalized on a really good possession rather than maybe waiting for one shot.
And that ball went in front of Blaine Christo and Aiden Washburn. Thomas Spears over there in the student body. As the student body showing up tonight, they're getting a good one here. Deadlocked at 33 with 20 seconds to go. As the Cowboys going to attack. Here's Taylor. Can he get the roll? He does. It's another 2-point lead.
It's a tough shot.
And here we go, 10 seconds. Blue Jays, the ball went out of bounds, thrown away by the Blue Jays. And Coach Mose, he's showing just a hair of frustration as his team has been turnover prone a bit here in the first half. Something that has plagued them a little bit in these last 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, and this press has kind of got the Blue Jays out of their comfort zone for the most part. We talk a little bit more at half.
All right, here we go. Back the way we go. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Here's Petit. Has it stripped. Stolen by Jacobson. Puts it up at the buzzer. Just off to the left. But this Boys Town Cowboys team, they came in here and they said, we are here to play. They are surprising the Big Blue at halftime, 35-33. A very quiet first quarter for Malachi Washington, but look out. He put up 7 points in that second quarter. He's got 10 for the game. And then Petit, who is also averaging an 11.5 a game, he goes off in that second quarter for 5 points. And the pace of this game definitely favoring the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's kind of a taste of our own medicine. We run that press so many times, not for steals, but rather to speed the other team up or get the ball out of the hands of some of those primary ball scorers. And even there, Boys Town is always leaving one of the deep guys open, and that gets the ball in Cade Bridges' hands a lot. Dawson, Cougar, who are unbelievably capable players. But I think we're at our best, when we're getting good reversals and having good half-court offense. So press getting us a little bit out of control, a little bit out of hand, and it's working in Boys Town's favor right now. How
good has Boys Town been? The Blue Jays have not given up more than 10 points in any quarter this year as far as their average. Every quarter they average giving up somewhere between 8 and 9.5 points a quarter. In the second quarter, the Cowboys put up 24 points in that second quarter alone. Yeah, and it's a combination of everything. Transition points off of rebounds and steals, shooting threes, making it well. Malachi hitting a couple shots. Boys Town's for real on the offensive end. Well, we're trying to get Coach Thompson up here, but he's being bothered by all these fans. We got to get he's a celebrity, isn't he? Hey, come on in here and sit down, Coach. This isn't like a football halftime. We only get 10 minutes here at halftime. No, here, you want to grab the headset? Or you want that? We'll get him all mic'd up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can you hear? Put that on because Jordan's going to have some questions for you. And we'll get him all mic'd up. It's great to see Ryan Thompson up here. And, I should have known when we're getting you up here to the booth that it would take about 10 minutes. You're kind of a celebrity in these parts, aren't you? Oh, for the wrong reasons right now. Hey, it's great to see you, though. Thank you. How you feeling? I'm doing real good. It's been back to school the last couple days, and it's therapeutic, even though it's chaos in the gym, but much better to be there than at home. So we're doing good, Tim. Yeah, absolutely. He's been battling a really tough upper respiratory thing here, and it's great to have him back in school. It's great to have him back here. But listen, we were talking, Jordan and I, about you and Boys Town. You know this Boys Town program well. Some incredible battles on the gridiron between your program, going back to the days of Brian York, which I think you had Brian York, right? Yeah. That was Coach Kittrell. That's right. I was on staff. Yep. That's right. Yep. And going back to those days and Brett Sapp all the way up through this last year, they went out there and it was a real tussle Friday night. So talk about what it's just like to play against Boys Town. Number one, you're going to get the best effort, the best coaching, and those kids just come out and play as hard as they can. I used to say that you almost played 5 quarters in 4 when you played them because it was just so high energy. It always felt like a playoff game. Everything was amped up. Everything was intense. But it was a great rivalry. And lately it's been a rivalry. For a while there, they kind of whipped up on us, but. Lately we've kind of had their number, but it's been hard. Yeah, and you look at this game here tonight. I imagine this does not surprise you at all that Boys Town comes in here at 6-7, playing some good basketball though, and they're surprising the Blue Jays here at half. Well, I was just telling Stu here a little bit ago. It has that feel. It's intense. It's up and down the court as fast as possible. Everything's contested. Everything is just important, every pass, everything. There's no doubt that, it's going to be a tough game the whole way through. Hopefully Coach Mose has some stuff that they're going to pull out. I think it's just going to be down to basics. You saw some errant passes. You saw some frustration from us. They just need to settle down. They'll be just fine. Well, I'm going to let the All-American tight end from Hastings get his crack at you tonight, too. But before I turn it over to him, got to ask you, hey, coming off of last season, always difficult, right, when you got these seniors that you get a chance to coach. You guys had a great year and another great run, another top 5 finish in Class C1, something you just do over and over again. But I know these seniors meant a lot to you, coming out of last season. Maybe talk just a little bit before we look forward, looking back here.
Yeah, every class goes through and they, they grab onto your heart a little bit, and it's hard to let them go. And this class, there's no doubt. I would say one of the most put together classes as being unified. They hang out together. I think they've grown up together. They're very, very polite. They're very high character. I had 3 of them plowing my driveway out of nowhere the other day.
Nice,
They were raised right by great families. It's hard to let them go. I'm excited to see what they do in the future. A couple of them are going to play football. A couple of them are just moving on. But it's going to be fun. I look forward to seeing them standing on our sidelines, looking back when we're playing games.
And you get plenty of former players doing that. But here's a guy that knocked a few people around in his time as an All-American tight end, Jordan Wallman. Jordan, I know you got a couple questions for Coach here.
Yeah, Coach, we're pretty blessed here in Ashland to have one of the best facilities in Memorial Stadium. So historic, so awesome. It's been really fun for me in the last 6 years to get up to the Corral and talk about an all-time name. What do you know the team is in for? What's your experience up there playing there?
Number one, the fans are on top of you. It's kind of like our stadium. The fans are right on top of you. They're relentless, and the field is a normal field, but it's surrounded. This year we went up there, all the hedges and trees were gone, but before that, I think they're going to put them back in, but before that, you'd walk in and there'd be trees changing colors in the fall. It was beautiful. The hedges were lining everything. It's one of those experiences. You don't see the field until you walk in the gate. So they have one of the best home field advantage spots. I love coaching up there, and I love it that our kids get a chance to be up there.
Coach, here's the other thing. Here's when I kind of give you a hard time that you're kind of a celebrity around here. You're kind of turning into a celebrity regionally. All of a sudden, you've got all these speaking gigs going on. You're on the coaching committee for Sideline Power with some. You're one of the heavyweights, but I mean to tell you, you got some big-time coaches on that committee. You've been speaking at a few things. I know you had something this spring that you're going to speak at. Maybe you still do. I don't know if you missed it or not.
Nope.
But what in the world? They all want to know about building culture, so talk a little bit about that.
Just right place at the right time with speaking. We always get an opportunity to talk about your program. You do it. There's not one time you're ever going to give that up. Because we have so much great things going on in our community and our district and our program that we want to make sure that people know about it. I've taken and stolen a lot from other people at clinics, so my goal is always give something to someone, give back. But I love talking about our program, our culture. It's truly one of those words that are thrown around a lot, but once you get it going in the right direction, it's hard to break. I feel like our culture is very solid. I feel like the foundation is always being added to by new teams, new groups every year. And eventually it's going to break through where you're going to get to that pinnacle, just like Coach Mose did last year. And, maybe hopefully, knock on wood, get another opportunity for those guys in Lincoln this year again. But, wins will never define us, but these kids are leaving legacy. They're proud of something. Like you said, we have so many guys that come back on Friday night. I think that's a testament to hopefully the feeling or the experience that they're getting through our program.
Without a doubt. Let's open up that hood and peek inside a little bit. What is that culture all about?
The number one thing is relationships. We want to make sure every kid feels like they are a part of the team. We want to make sure every kid is involved. We want to make sure that every kid goes home with a positive feeling. And if we do that, we think we're going to attract some more. There are some kids that need the program more than the program needs them, and those guys really pull on our coaching staff because we want to make sure that they are involved, they're a part of something, they can feel proud of what they're doing because maybe they're not on the field the whole time, but they're coming to practice, they're having a good time. So those are a few things. Our HEART acronym, we're going to play with heart and that hunger, effort, attitude, relentless and tough, and that's something we hang our hat on as well. So I think it's just over time, just the same the same message as a coaching staff and as a senior group, junior group, our leaders have that same message. It's really hard to dent that type of culture.
I got one more for you
All
before
right.
we let you go, because you also do something very unique. You start a leadership class in the spring so that when you do lose those great group of seniors that you lose every year, you've got a new group coming in and they understand all of this. Walk through where that emanated from and why that was important for you to do.
Back in, I think, 2012, we just felt we were missing something. So we brought that next year's seniors in and started working on what Blue Jay football was. And I kind of sat back and they kind of gave me as much as they could. And then we formed a few things. And every year we kind of added to it. And every year we went from seniors to let's add some juniors, let's add some sophomores. And now it's just open to everyone, because if we can get everyone to raise their level of being a leader, doesn't matter what grade you're in, we're doing better. Someone's going to follow you, and hopefully you're taking them in the path that where they should follow too. We don't want to take them to other places. So if we just get everyone hooked on a little bit of what our program is, and that they can be a leader without a title, that's our goal.
Well, you've done it very, very well. You've lived it. You walked the walk. We're lucky to have you, and it's great to see you up here tonight. This is a lot better place to be, isn't it?
A lot better than a hospital room or or my couch. So this is good, Tim.
You're welcome back anytime,
Coach.
Coach.
That's right. Absolutely. We love
We'd
having
love to have you up here sometime.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right,
Anytime.
buddy.
I'm here.
Yeah, great seeing
All
you.
right.
And I'm glad to see you're
You
feeling
bet.
better. All right,
Appreciate
buddy.
it.
Ryan Thompson. And that gives us a chance to get Mark Adele. But Ryan Thompson, Mark, sorry, buddy. We had to have him up here. It was great to see him again.
Okay, well, I got my football shirt on tonight.
Yeah.
The shooting is there. We're 12 of 22 for 55%. They are 14 of 25 for 56%. We are 4 of 8 from 3, 50%. They're 4 of 9, 44%. We're 5 of 7 from the line, 71%. They're 3 of 5, 60%. Believe it or not, we've out-rebounded them 12 to 9. It just seemed Malachi Washington 3 offensive boards that gave them some momentum towards the end. They've got 3 offensive, we've got 5 offensive. We forgot about Dawson Teese's and Brooks Kissinger's because they happened earlier. Turnovers, they sped us up a little bit, giving us a dose of our own medicine. We've turned it over 9 times, 8 for them. It's going to be tough if they don't cool off, and we can't let them speed us up.
All right, Mark, and perfect timing by Mark Adele as we're getting ready to get this second half started as the Blue Jays find themselves in very unfamiliar territory this year. Down by 2 at half of Bridges. Can he score? No. And the rebound down to Washington, and he's running out of there with it. Dumps it off and off the leg of Poteet. So the Blue Jays are going to have Cougar Consum, Brooks Kissinger, Cade Bridges, Dawson Teese, and Dane Jacobson. You've got Washington to start, as well as Zach Taylor. Here's the pressure. There's Poteet bringing it up. Zach Thomas, and, of course, Whitaker. So here we go. Underway here in this third quarter. Blue Jays down 35-33 as Bridges will dump it off, and there's good ball reversal. Kissinger's going to get in the deep of it, and they're going to kick it out and find Constant. Now there's Bridges. Make that Jacobson. Bingo for the Great Dane.
Love that. Blue Jays come out, run a set early to get Cade into a shot action there. Good reversals and kickouts lead to a Dane Jacobson shot attempt.
Here we go. As Boys Town now trails 36-35. It has been a seesaw battle in this game. And Taylor, a little step back. Dane did a good job staying with him. Big 3 there, Jordan, for Jacobson, to get things started.
Needed to see one fall for sure.
And this went off the hands of Malachi Washington. Good defense underneath by Dawson Teese.
They're going to give him a healthy diet in the second half, especially after he got hot there in the second quarter a little bit. But Blue Jays really showing commitment to sending multiple at him.
Here comes Consum as they beat the pressure, works up and over Whitaker, and the Blue Jays now up 3.
Blue Jays doing a great job getting out running in transition. I'm going to work on the camera.
You betcha, buddy. And this, of course, as we lost our screen, we've got a loose cord, folks, that Jordan Wallman is working on. Here's a tight shot that will not go for Boys Town, and the Blue Jays on a 5-0 run here to start this third quarter of play. The third quarter doomed DC West. Blue Jays held them to just 2. Can they do the same tonight as Teese with his back to the basket finds a wide open Konzum for a 3. It won't go, but look at Brooks. He holds onto that basketball and then is rejected by Washington. Finds Jacobson. What ball movement. Konzum's going to work. Go right at Washington. And we got a whistle. We got a tie up. It'll go Boys Town ball.
Go ahead, Tim. I was a little distracted there, but hey, love the fight on the offensive rebounds. Shot selection is still there. Yeah, just good stuff from the Blue Jays. Good fight.
Folks, Jordan is keeping the score for you. He's running the camera, and he's doing color commentating as Whitaker with his back to the basket. Turn around too much, and it's loose, and there's Dawson Teese with a big board. 5-0 run, Big Blue. Can it go 7? Make it 8-0 run. This is short, missed everything. Can Dawson track it down? He does. Gives it to Kissinger. Floats up. Can't get it. Great defense there by Zach Taylor.
You know, Brooks really controlled attack to the rim. Doesn't quite get it to fall. Love that O board from Deese.
Spin move. Washington throws a ball up off the glass and got it to go.
I mean, my goodness, that's great defense. Just a strong, athletic player going up with great touch in Washington. He's a stud.
Here we go. 38-37. And Boys Town needed that bucket, didn't they, Jordan? They were seeing the Blue Jays run out here to start this third quarter. Blue Jays held the Falcons to 2 points in that conference championship Saturday. And that was the difference as Kissinger gets a great feed by Teese, finds open Konzum. Oh, Konzum hesitated just a little, draws a crowd of 3 defenders. We got a whistle and a reach in, and that'll be the first foul on Boys Town here in this second half.
Yeah, Blue Jays, you know, their shot selection is good right now. Sometimes maybe in other games, those turn into quick offensive 3 looks, but Blue Jays doing a great job, you know, playing team basketball. Eventually you want someone to pull the trigger and take that shot. But they're doing a great job getting in the lane, operating off 2 feet, and playing good ball.
And a reach-in going to be called on Zeph Thomas. Coach Mose did not like that pass. I didn't see who made that pass.
Yeah,
Mose. But he was working his team a little bit there.
You know, those conversations at half where, you know, look at what we did, look at what we did in the second quarter. This is what we do when we play slow and strong and smart, and, you know, Mose wants those boys to play to their standards.
And here's a pass not being able to be handled by Dane, a little off to his right, so a turnover there. And the turnover bugaboo has really been an issue for the Big Blue here. And it's coming to a head a bit tonight as they lead by 1. Here's Washington down the block, and he's fouled by Cougar. And that'll be the first foul on the Blue Jays here in the second half. And the first foul on Konzum.
Yeah, just sending 2. They're going to do a little side front on Malachi, but him being so long, he can get up and take kind of over-the-top passes, but there help side Cougs picks up a foul.
Thomas gets the ball in at the top of the key. Midway through the third, Blue Jays up 1. After a bunch of scoring in these first 2 quarters, these teams have been a little quiet offensively here in the third. You knew that might happen as Washington just working his way in against Konzum, and he draws the foul. Good work by Washington to really just continue his way to the rim. Cougar did everything he could and ends up drawing the foul.
Yeah, and you kind of see a lot of Blue Jay players use a move called a side hop where you kind of gather, pick up your dribble, but take one last jump. Malachi's just kind of taking a side hop through the chest. You have to body up if you're going to guard him. And he's kind of anticipating that defensive contact and using his athleticism to get to his spot.
So Washington tonight, a 75% free throw shooter, just 1 of 3 tonight from the line. About the only thing he has not done real well. He has been solid throughout. Let's see what the senior can do with this one, and he got it to tie it up at 38. Here's that pressure. It's been troublesome for the Big Blue. Here's Kissinger, though. He's going to work it up the court quickly. Finds Jacobson. What a skip pass to Bridges. He got Washington in the air. He'll attack. Finds Kissinger for an open 3. Bingo! And the Blue up 41-38. Quick timeout with 4 minutes to go in the third. Terrific ball movement by the Big Blue.
It is, and you love to see that baseline drive action. And then, you know, either top of the key, but there's usually a lot of guys to pass it through. But if you can pass through that baseline or do a run through on the baseline, those are good kick out 3 attempts. And Brooks is in a great spot. Cade has a great read, and Blue Jays are hitting some big shots right now.
And we talked about how Malachi Washington in the game does not leave his feet, doesn't go for those ball fakes. That time, though, he got up and skied on that three-point attempt in the corner, which really created an opportunity for the Big Blue.
Yeah, I mean, he's a high-point defender. His high point is so up there, and he has those instincts that allow him to track basketballs in the air. And he went up for that thing. And I'll tell you, Tim, he's a hard guy to shoot over.
Well, you talk about a tough stretch of basketball for the Blue Jays. They had a tough one Saturday night against DC West, ended up winning by 9, won a conference championship. Tonight, they are up by 3 against Boys Town with 3:54 to play here in the third as Washington has a double team, kicks it out to Taylor. Blue Jays have to play DC West again Friday night. Here is Poteet for a 3. That missed everything. Good rebound underneath and a reach in and a foul on Cade Bridges. And he may have drawn a tee. He got teed up. Cade Bridges just got teed up by the official. And that gives him a foul and technicals. And so not what Coach Mose wanted. Cade slapped the basketball down hard on the court. Argued it. I didn't really see what came after that because the official stared him down and he must have said something else because that was the tee. Let's go, Zach. So at the line here is Zach Taylor. And he'll hit the first one to make it 41-39.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear it. I didn't really see it either, but if the interaction happens, the official continues to look Cade's way. Kind of baiting him into that opportunity. Caden obviously needs to behave himself better and interact better, but as an official, you make your call and get out of there.
I'm sorry, I stepped on you again. I've been stepping on you, partner. I'm so sorry about that.
I'm just long-winded tonight. I don't know.
No, you're not at all. I'm just being impatient, I think, here. So
not a lot of time to speak.
You have a lot to offer. We need more Jordan Wallman on this broadcast.
Go ahead, Tim.
But, the one thing I was going to say is the composure as Washington works with his back to the basket, works his way in. He's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. But we talked about the composure of the Blue Jays. I was talking to Brad Jacobson before the game. He was at the game on Saturday night against DC West. The Falcons made a big run in that second half. The place was going crazy, and the Blue Jays didn't panic. Tonight, that's the first time all season I've seen the Blue just lose a little bit of composure out there.
Yeah, and I think, from Cade's perspective, he came down and he did what his coaches were asking him to do, and he thought he got a clean basketball. I could see Cade's perspective, but, at the end of the day, if you're having an interaction with someone on the sidewalk and you talk to them versus if hey, that's the wrong thing to do.
Right.
You got to talk to refs like humans if you truly want those calls.
Do you have conversations a lot like that on the sidewalks when you're walking around?
In a positive way, definitely. Not in the habit of yelling at random people.
Boys Town takes the lead at 42-41 as Washington hits both of those. And so now we have a whistle and a foul on the Cowboys. That's the third team foul on them. The second foul on Poteet. Here's a great entry feed to Cougar, who immediately kicks it out. Didn't want to test Washington. Boy, he's a difference maker defensively, isn't he, Jordan?
Yeah, even he's not even really leaving the lane, and he made Brooks rethink that shot attempt.
Look at Zimmerman. He'll switch it up with the left hand at the last minute. Won't go. And now Boys Town looking to take a 3 or 4 point lead here with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And it'll be Washington, and that's too hard. And the rebound down to Konzum, and then he is fouled. I think they're going to call that on Antoine Izzard.
Yeah, and I think the play's a little rougher. But man, there's a lot of whistles getting blown here. Refs are popping them, and we probably just went through 20 seconds of gameplay that took 5 to 10 minutes with free throws and such.
42-41 is the double team on Kissinger. Dane holds it very steady, takes his time, gets it to Brooks. Brooks does a good job of staying out of that double team right here midcourt. 42-41 Boys Town. They galloped into town here trying to pull the upset. And it'll be Kissinger against the zone. How's this zone been for Boys Town, Jordan?
I think it's just a different look that they offer. They're kind of using their bottom guys to guard that short corner and the opposite block. So the 3 attempts will be open.
Here's Jacobson, can't get the 3. Drake almost got an offensive board. Poteet running, kicks it out to Taylor. One-handed pass in the paint, fade away, will not go. And that's going to be a foul on Washington for climbing the back of Zimmerman. Great job by Drake on the block out.
Yeah, that box out when a player initiates contact, that creates a safe space above his head. If the opposite player invades that space, that's a foul. So Blue Jays really showing a commitment tonight to getting D rebounds.
2 fouls on Malachi Washington for the game. Here's Zimmerman, beautiful bounce pass. Konzum, reverse layup. A great look by Drake and Bake Zimmerman.
You know, that's what the Blue Jays have been looking for. A good press break leads to a layup opportunity and that they can capitalize on.
1 point lead, Blue Jays. We got a whistle, and a charge is going to be called on Zach Taylor. And who took that charge, Jordan? I missed it.
Luke Clark.
Luke Clark. He has done that a few times this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, heady play. You know, he kind of sees Taylor driving on the opposite side of the lane, and he sets up, gains position, and, you know, maybe a little Academy Award, but it looked good to me.
And back come the Blue Jays, up 1. And it is Zimmerman going to go the length, dumps it off to Luke Clark, the senior, in trouble. Underneath, finds Kissinger, though. Brooks just can't get a shot up over Washington. And there comes Jacobson. Boy, this Washington's difference maker. Oh, Drake Zimmerman missed a left-handed bunny, but there's Dane Jacobson with the quick hands and the bucket.
Brings the crowd to the feet. Dane May got away with a little bit of a foul right there. Crable's not happy about it.
And there we have a whistle, and a travel is going to be called on Poteet, and Coach Crable is not happy. The last 2 possessions, he felt like there was a foul on the Big Blue, and then that travel called on Poteet.
Yeah, definitely justified. Same call on Malachi. Dane did the same thing down there, and you know, the second one, I think he's just kind of mad because he has the right to be mad. But Boys Town's got to ride this. They can't let too many points slip off the board for the Blue Jays without coming back scoring themselves.
That is a great analysis here by my partner. Good job. 45-42. We're under a minute to go. Blue Jays up. And Brown Jones just checked in the game for Boys Town. Jacobson. Oh, Drake Zimmerman thought that Konzum was behind him. Cougar stepped up high on the wing. Cougar comes over to give Drake a little bit of a high five, but that one just not on the same page.
Yeah, and you know, you're okay with that because Drake was looking to make the extra pass, but it's another possession during the middle of a run that doesn't end up in points, but rather a turnover.
Here comes Boys Town. Blue Jays up by 3. They get it to Washington on the block. Washington back to the basket. Here's a quick reach in, and that'll go off of Washington, won't it? No, they're going to say Cougar was last to touch it.
And Brooks got away with a little arm contact, so definitely off Malachi, but I think it's the right call there.
So Thomas will inbounds. He's looking, gets it up top to Washington. And now Gomes, who's been quiet here in the third quarter, tries to step through, and he takes a travel. And a couple traveling calls against Boys Town here in this latter part of the third quarter has hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't quite see that one, but that's a couple in a row. Crable's kind of keeping his cool right now, but call's definitely not going his way at the moment.
By the way, Poteet getting a little bit of work done, I believe, by the trainers. I think he had his nose hit a little on that last travel. So they're tending to him on the bench, and here we go. We've got 13 seconds to go in this third quarter. Blue Jays up 3. They're playing for 1. Zimmerman kicks it out to Konzum down the block against Brown Jones off the glass, and the senior got it to fall. And with 1 second, will they get a shot up? They will not. Konzum, who has been steady Eddie here in this basketball game tonight, gives the Big Blue a 47-42 lead going into quarter 4. And credit the Blue Jays, they have weathered the storm. That technical that they got on Bridges midway through the third quarter didn't seem to really bother them, and they extend out by 5.
Yeah, and that could have been a turning point, you know, kind of an emotional turning point. But no, they kind of weathered the storm, and they've been getting really great shot attempts. They've been getting the ball inside through dribble drives. They've been doing kick-out 3 attempts. Probably still a little high on the turnover mark for Coach Mose. But on the other end, they've been playing good help-down defense. They've been rebounding well, boxing out well, getting some of those over the back or from behind foul calls. And overall, you know, it's a big improvement from that second quarter.
So I've got to ask you, Jordan, the Blue Jays gave up 24 second quarter points, and they trailed at half 35-33, but they got back to their old selves here playing defense in the third quarter, giving up just 7. What was the difference in what you saw the Blue Jays do defensively in that second versus third quarters?
You know, Boys Town's points were coming off of transition, and those are coming from steals and rebounds off missed shots. You know, Blue Jays just overall doing a lot better job taking care of the basketball. When Boys Town took that lead, it was literally off transition points, and you know, you get rid of transition points by playing good defense, boxing out, and overall just taking care of the basketball.
Fourth quarter underway. Blue Jays get possession to start as Jacobson will have it. On him is Taylor. And the man again for Coach Crable as Kissinger gets in the paint, looks for some help, and finds it. Blue Jays in a battle tonight. Here's a pick and roll. We got a whistle and a travel on Dane Jacobson, as I think he thought Dawson Teese was going to be there, but credit Boys Town on that defense.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of all the travels, even both ways. It's, if it's impeding, definitely, but I'm playing a little bit.
Well, so Boys Town with down 5 here. They were quiet in that third quarter offensively. Can they find their mojo again that they had in the second quarter? We're going to find out here as Taylor holds it off the left elbow. Dribbles up top with that left hand. Looks. There's Poteet. Poteet, you can see he's got something up that nostril there to quit the nosebleed. And now here comes a miss, and it's tipped out to Kissinger. Kissinger, long pass. Bridges, left-handed layup, high off the glass and over Poteet's attempted block. Blue Jays up 7. And the student body chanting defense now. Taylor finds Poteet. Poteet, it won't go, and there's Konzum.
Blue Jays kind of grabbing some grown man boards right now. These are the ones that matter.
Well, they were in a world of hurt. Down 1 as Kissinger says, let's keep the party going. Off the glass, 51-42. And Coach Crable says we got to talk things over with 6:29 to go here in quarter number 4.
No, that's a good stretch. Kind of all year, the Blue Jays have really benefited from third quarter defense and created a little space, but Boys Town wanted to make a run. That was a great time to get things started. But the Blue Jays come out, they take great shots. They once again, they show that defensive rebounding, closing out possessions, and we'll do a little work to extend the lead.
Well, we knew this was going to be tough. Boys Town led Concordia by 3 early in the fourth quarter. Concordia, an excellent basketball team. And then you look at a guy like Malachi Washington, who is so close to taking over Teddy Allen's all-time rebounding record at Boys Town. He's 3rd in the state at 11.5 boards a game. He can score. He is a prolific scorer. He's not too far off from taking over or hitting that 1,000-point mark in a career for scoring for Boys Town, which according to Coach Crable would put him in the top 5. So Boys Town has some wonderful pieces here the Blue Jays have had to contend with tonight.
Yeah, he scores from the inside. The Blue Jays have really shown a commitment to cover downs. The team in general has a lot of three-point attempts and a lot of three-point makes. So cover downs, you got to close out on guys, and then you got to get defensive rebounds. And, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I think the Blue Jays have been really, really good in limiting those Boys Town missed shots to only 1 shot per possession.
51-42 out of the timeout. This is a big possession. And it'll be Zeph Thomas who goes to point, and nearly stolen as Taylor's going to drive that left baseline. Blue Jays do a good job of doubling him. And then the ball knocked out of bounds, and it went off of the hands of Taylor. Good job by Dane Jacobson with those active hands.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Junior was all over the place right there. He was flying around and diving on the ground, but really creating chaos.
Kissinger working up against Thomas. Just over 6 minutes to go. 9-point lead for the Big Blue. Trying to get their 17th win of the year. As Kissinger works off a screen, nothing there with T, so he'll work down the block, try to hit it off the glass, can't. Washington can't defend it. He's awfully good, but Brooks got the best of him there. Blue Jays up 11.
Yeah, good commitment from Brooks, gets a good rebound, uses the rim to protect his second shot.
Blue Jays really opening things up here in the fourth. Boys Town, they average 7 trays a game. Boy, they need some scoring here as Washington works eye off the glass. Missed, but he was fouled by Teese, I believe. He's going to go to line to shoot a couple.
Defensively, you want to give a shout out to the game plan. The guards are doing a great job covering down, but right now it starts with Dawson, and this is one of the best players in the state. He's been a stud for multiple years in a row now, and Dawson's really risen to the challenge tonight.
And Washington hits that free throw to make it a 10-point game. He has been terrific in this game, has Malachi Washington. Scored a bunch, been good defensively. Second free throw will not go, and there's an over the back on Whitaker. And that should be a 1-and-1 for the Big Blue, up 10.
And that's a big point of emphasis as we go in the last 5:34 of this game. They're already in the single bonus. If Boys Town starts having to run and gun or jump or commit fouls to stop the Blue Jays from killing the clock, it's free throws the rest of the way out.
Well, checking in the game here is Gomes. 10.5 points scorer. Just with 3 tonight, Whitaker's going to check out.
I didn't see. I don't know if that's 5 on him. Sorry, Tim.
And it will be Konzum at the line. He should have won a 1, and he got the first one to rattle around and fall. Back to 11. You know, Jay Toomey's been tuning in, our great friend down there in Weeping Water, Nebraska. And he said, here's that second free throw. Good. He said that we've done a great job really being strong with our chest on those travel calls, maybe forcing a couple of those travels defensively. And here could be a turnover. Can Cougar get it? He will. He wants to run the court. Here he comes. Oh, way too hard off the glass. Was it a pass? I don't know, but Kissinger's fouled. He'll go to the line. Almost looked like he wanted to bounce that thing off to Brooks, but I can't imagine that was the case.
Yeah, exactly. But, I think he's running fast downhill. He's on the right side of the rim, left-hander. He tried to use his inside hand and just hit it a little too hard off the backboard. He was kind of laughing and tapping his chest saying, yeah, that's my bad.
Well, the first free throw is good. Well, Jordan, I loved your response when I said that. You just laughed and said, yeah. There's no way he did that on purpose. Second one was no good. 13-point lead. Big Blue, 5:13 to go. Getting late here. Gomes can really shoot it. See if they find something for him. Bounce pass inside to Washington. Oh, a good look underneath and a layup. Beautifully done. Great cut by Carter to get the bucket. And the Blue Jays up 11. A quick timeout with 5:01 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was a good read by Carter to see the back of his man's head and cut to the basket. But also, Malachi's noticing that gravity. Every shot he's taking, he's got 2 or 3 guys on him. He's having to work through Teese's chest. Yeah, that was an easy bucket. So we'll kind of see what Boys Town has planned. They're going to bring pressure coming out of the timeout. There's no doubt about that.
And Coach Mose is working hard in that huddle. Tell me what might be going through his mind with his team up 11.
Boy, I know he said slow and strong probably 37 times. If you can protect the basketball and work through contact here, it could result in free throws. I think a worst case scenario for the Blue Jays right now is a string of turnovers. So probably just working through the press break, kind of talking overall strategy and shot selection. But I know he's preaching slow and strong to those boys right now.
Well, the Blue Jays have been turnover prone. Boy, do they get a lot of steals, averaging almost 12 steals a game they are, and they probably got that number tonight, if not more. And here we go against pressure. Blue Jays beat it. Kissinger with a 3-on-2 break. What will Brooks do? He'll find the enforcer who gets the bucket. Beautiful pass by Brooks Kissinger.
That's killer when pressure's on to get a break and make the extra pass and score it.
Can Washington answer? Back to the bucket, no, so he'll kick it out. He's going to screen. Here's a pull-up jumper that will not go for Taylor. And there's 3 Blue Jays there, and coming out of it is the senior Konzum.
Great job closing out that possession, not giving him 2 or 3 cracks at it. This is the possession where you kind of take your time and really focus on getting great shots.
Boys down in that man-to-man. Halfway through the fourth quarter, Blue Jays up 13. They were down 42-41. Since then, it's been all Big Blue, and Kissinger's fouled on his way to the rim. He'll go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Yeah, and you're never taking your time. maybe a better way to say it is, you're not in a hurry to force something. So, even there, Dawson gets in a little trouble. He doesn't panic, gets into a handoff rescreen situation. Brooks sees a window 30 seconds into the possession, and he takes it.
Brooks Kissinger, father Kip Kissinger, texted me today. He said, listen, this is going to be a really tough basketball game. You and I talked about it. We knew it was going to be a tough basketball game. It has been, as Brooks will go 2 for 2 there to make it 60-45. And the Blue Jays now putting some nice space between themselves and the Cowboys. Here is Poteet. Crossover. Look at that speed. Look at that. Oh, he couldn't quite finish. But man alive, that was a quick move for Poteet to the rim.
Once again, I'm gonna have to take out stock in the word defensive rebound, but Blue Jays just continuing there. Great drive by Petit. Malachi's kind of lurking in the background, and you can just really kill some momentum by grabbing that defensive rebound. And in the double bonus now the rest of the way out, Blue Jays are going to have to take advantage and make some free throws.
So what will Tease do here on this free throw attempt? He's 1 of 10. Make it 2 for 11. And Dawson gets that free throw. His father and I were talking about that the other day. I said, listen, of course, you know, his dad, Tyler, being a dad, right?
Yeah.
I said, now listen, this kid can shoot. His free throws look good. It's just a matter of time before he starts hitting them, and I think he's going to get this one too. Oh, that looked good. Just a little bit too much from Tease. And now the Cowboys down 16. Gomes going to fire one up there. Can't get it. Kissinger with a quick hustle in the board. It's easy to get looking at those turnovers, right, for Ashland-Greenwood, but my goodness, Jordan, have they done so many things well. You've mentioned it. Rebounding's been one big advantage for the Big Blue tonight.
Yeah, and shot selection's been great. They've been choosy with their shots. Perfect example right there.
What a look by Kate Bridges. Found a cutting Kissinger, and it's now an 18-point lead. And again, a absolutely pinpoint pass from Kate Bridges.
Yeah, and you know, kind of as we work towards the end of this game, I'm sure Moses is going to have something to say about that stretch in the second quarter where they kind of lost it a little bit, but you know, really buckled in, took care of the ball in the third, and now working into the fourth quarter as well.
Brooks with a rare miss tonight. And so here comes Taylor. Floats through the air and got Tease up. Wasn't able to draw a foul, but got the bucket.
It's a really good move, really athletic move, kind of a flying through the air side to side. Uses great balance to make the shot there to Taylor.
Jacobson dumps it off. Blue Jays going to be very selective now, don't you think, Jordan?
Yeah, you're going to take a great shot here. That's all you're going to really allow for yourself to do.
Brooks will attack, dumps it off, and Tease had a shot, but that one was rejected for Washington, his fourth rejection of the night. Coach Crable saying that should have been a charge. Here they dump it inside to Washington. Malachi working, spinning, gets it up off the glass, won't go, but he'll go to the line to shoot a couple.
Yeah, you know, that's okay, but on the offensive end, you know, you're not being timid. You're not trying to take time off. If you hold the ball on the volleyball line and they won't guard you, you know, go the rest of the game and win it. But teams are going to come out. They're going to pressure you. They're going to try to make you uncomfortable. And then as those lanes open up, you take that first opportunity. But until that opportunity comes up, you're just kind of working the ball around looking for it. So, but in the last couple possessions, Blue Jays found it pretty early.
And here's Washington's second free throw to make it 63-48. He was 1 of 2 there. Folks are going to wake up tomorrow. They're going to see the score. They're not going to really understand the magnitude of just how difficult this game was for the Blue Jays tonight. And maybe I'm calling it a little early, too. There's 2:32 to go, and don't forget this Boys Town team can shoot trays.
Yeah, going to be a lot of the free throws the rest of the way out right now.
And here comes 2 free throws for Kissinger. Brooks came in here averaging 16.5. His first free throw's up and good. And he's having himself a night. Well, I'll tell you, the big scorers tonight, Kissinger and Washington, have not disappointed. They've both been absolutely terrific. So much fun to watch. And here comes Brooks' second free throw is good. We have been spoiled, Jordan, with what we've seen this year. Kissinger and Malachi Washington and the great player over in Platteview, Milliken. And here's a shot that misses. Taylor working, fade away, can't get it. And there's the Great Dane on the rebound, and Jacobson is fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot a couple of free throws.
Another opportunity free throws. Here we go.
Yeah. So the Big Blue giving everything they want. They were tested significantly tonight against this Cowboy squad. And Jacobson will go to the line with his team up 17. Blue Jays get right back at it with a tough one Friday, D.C. West. They just are in the middle of a stretch here, Jordan, that is really difficult.
Yeah, kind of, you know, with the addition of that Wahoo game, add an Elkhorn in there as well, it kind of beefed up the beginning part of our schedule, but this stretch here and kind of getting into February has always been pretty rough. going Wahoo, going Newman. Wahoo used to play here, but during this time, yeah, it's good time to kind of see what you're made of.
19-point lead with 2:08 to go. Here comes a good dribble drive from the left side. Will not go, as that was a Trey to Shields, the 5'11 junior, who's going to get a couple of free throws. Coach Crable has pretty much emptied his bench, with the exception of Taylor. Coach Mose has yet to follow suit, and I think that is a huge compliment to the Cowboys as the first free throw is missed.
And no one's better at that than Mose. No one's better about that than going to the back end. And I think Crable's is maybe a little more out of frustration than sportsmanship or pace of the game. I think it's a good move by Mose. Believe your boys in that have gotten you to this point.
And there's a good rebound by Whitaker, and he will now go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Well, folks, if you like scoring, man, we had plenty of it. At halftime, if you're just joining us, it was 35-33 Boys Town as Cougar Conzum's going to exit. And you heard the crowd say Coug because he is loved here and beloved by the student body. The senior who averaged 14.5 his sophomore year. We've been watching him, and he's been a blast, hasn't he, over these last 3 years?
Yeah, and just kind of his transition and his growth to be where he is right now and the different roles he's played and great teams he's been on. We're very thankful for our time with Cougar.
Yeah, we are. So here we go. We're under 2 minutes to go in the fourth. As the Blue Jays looking to take care of this basketball with that 19-point lead. T stumps it off, and there's a whistle and a foul. There's a bump by Taylor Siegert, the 5'11 sophomore who's in the game. 1:46 to go, 67-48. And I think Coach Mose has seen enough, and he will now send in 5 new players to enter this game and bring his starters out. Yeah,
great minutes from the boys. Good timing for that transition. You gotta make sure you take care of business and don't leave any doubt. But these are still great minutes for these younger guys.
Boy, we've sure seen a lot tonight as Kissinger hits that first free throw. I mean, it just feels like this game, Jordan, we saw a little bit of everything. We saw defense. We saw huge amounts of scoring in a very short amount of time. We saw spectacular plays. We saw things get slowed down a little bit. It feels like we've seen a season's worth of highlights.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, about 120 total points tonight so far. It's been a high-paced game. It's been a fast-paced game, and it's been a fun one to call.
Well, we got to give it up to Jordan Wallman, who's run the camera, who's run the scoreboard, and brought you great insight. And here is a bucket that's missed as Lando Mose will pull it down. Tie carrying the game. There's Kyle Kissinger. He's a freshman, tries to find the other freshman. It's going to be stolen, and that's Derek Tonjes. And then you've got the junior in there, Isaac Carson, running the court. With 1:20 to go here in the basketball game. And here comes a left-handed layup that's no good, and he hits the deck hard. That was Trey to Shields, but he's up and he's going to be okay. Tough kid. Well, you know what Jason Leibel would be saying right now? And it's not shoot or shoot. What do you think it would be?
Probably something about being a maker or, three. You got to shoot it, something like that. Or Wallman passed me the ball, something like that.
I would love to know as DeShields hits that first free throw, did he play a lick of defense at all, do you think?
Definitely. And he's not here to defend himself, so I'm gonna stand up for him.
You're kidding me.
He's a tough-nosed kid. I'm pretty sure he has the school record for charges in Lewiston. Whatever that number is. I think I heard that run around the rumor mill one time not too long ago.
Well, I believe it. You know what? We love to give him a hard time about shoot or shoot, but that guy could really play the game. As here's a bucket from the left side, up and good.
So what do you think Leibel would say if he was here right now?
I think he'd be talking about the quality minutes, right, that these kids have gotten all year. We talked about it a lot. As you know, the three of us have worked the last 3 or 4 home games. And he just really talks about this being a vital time for guys like these freshmen and junior who they're going to lean on a lot next year. And I got to imagine you concur with that.
Yeah, 1,000%. A lot of these guys are the JV guys that they played against, but you've got the environment, you got the expectations, varsity reffing crew, and boys are playing some good ball.
And there's a double dribble there in Isaac Carson. And by the way, in the JV game, very similar to this varsity game, it was hotly contested through most of it, and the Ashland-Greenwood JV was able to pull away in that fourth quarter win by around 10 or 12 points, I believe.
It's kind of fun to watch them create some separation. Big, strong Boys Town squad going against a couple freshmen for the Blue Jays.
That's
with Isaac.
right.
Isaac, who's a junior this year, but it looked rough early. Kind of got punched in the mouth a little bit in terms of strength and speed, but they settled in so nicely and just really play a good brand of basketball down there.
Well, we got the student body going crazy down here for Ashland-Greenwood. They always show up, and there's a travel. You know how good the student body is at these games, whether it's football games or basketball games, when, we struggle to recruit them up here. We say, hey, come up, run the camera, run this, run that, and they say, man, I want to be in that student body tonight because they have a ball down there.
Yeah, I don't blame them. It's pretty fun to be down there and be a little crazy with your buddies.
Cal Kissinger with the bucket. The freshman scores for the Big Blue, and that might be it. With 4 seconds, Coach Crable says, let's just take it down. They're going to put up a shot at the buzzer that'll miss, but Ashland-Greenwood, boy, they were given everything that they wanted, as it was a 35-33 lead for the Cowboys at halftime, and it stayed close for about the first 3, 4, 5 minutes of that third quarter. But then this defense took over again. They gave up just 17 second-half points. And, Jordan, it's becoming a story for this Blue Jay squad, but leave it to the D. They seem to bail this squad out when they need them the most.
Yeah, and, the offense was there a little bit tonight too, so that was good to see signs of life in terms of, guys just playing fast and shooting and, not turning the ball over. Got a little messy in that second quarter there by Moses' standards and by the players' standards. But, that defense was pretty consistent. If you take away the turnover transition points, Blue Jays were pretty tough tonight for sure.
Well, this is a tradition here at Ashland where the players will go over and sing the fight song to the crowd, and I think you've got it on. We're going to listen in. And we've got that done tonight. That's a really nice tradition. Of course, it started back with Brad Jacobson, I think, when he was the head football coach. But they get their 17th win this season. They are now 17-1. Boys Town falls to 6-8. But again, the offense, credit them as well, Jordan. 24 fourth quarter points for the Big Blue. Pretty impressive stuff the way they put it up in the fourth.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we saw early a little bit. Definitely saw it last year. A lot of guys that can shoot, a lot of guys that can drive, a lot of guys that just want to play fast and are highly skilled. Three-pointers haven't been falling as much, or it's been kind of been hit or miss. They had some big threes in the DC West game. But, the Blue Jays really hitting some shots tonight, running in transition extremely well. Brooks Kissinger continues to just kind of be a monster, getting the ball on the inside. Just so much offensive firepower and capability, and tonight it was on full display.
Well, Brooks Kissinger was 10 of 14 from the line. He got a ton of attempts tonight, so that gave him 10. That hit, 4, that's 14 and 3, 17, 19. I've got him for 22. Another big outburst by Brooks Kissinger. Yeah,
Brooks has been great, and, a lot of those fouls came off defensive rebounding, defensive box outs, and the thing about getting to the line is it's really useful as long as you're getting out of there with 1 or 2 free throws. And the Blue Jays shot it well. I'm really interested to see what those stats say. And Mose kind of talked about that from DC West is, Brooks maybe started a little slow, got hot, and then finished the game with a lot of free throws. And that's what you really need from a best player. And not that he is our best player, but he's going to have the ball in that crunch time. He's a heck of a player with a lot of talented players around him. But when push comes to shove, we're going to need Brooks to take care of that basketball and hit free throws. And that's why you go to the rim, right? When you can finish 10 of 14 from the line, you drew a lot of fouls. By the way, it will be interesting, Jordan, because in that first half, Boys Town shot 56% overall. They were 40% from three. Really curious as you are to see what those numbers look like in the second half, because I have a feeling this defense really kind of held them in check. Yeah, and they went to Malachi a lot more in that second half. Just a lot of situations where he's on a post up, he's looking for that basketball, and he's using pound dribbles to get through guys. Saw some good drives from Taylor. But just overall, the three-point efficiency, the three-point attempts, and the willingness to take three-pointers all kind of fell off for Boys Town in that second half as they tried to get inside to Malachi.
You know, again, I think that turnover number is going to be higher than Coach Mose wants. We know that's going to be the case. But, man, there are so many things that the Blue Jays do well. They've rebounded well. They continue to share the ball well. They attack the rim well. Break down some of those things tonight, because I'm telling you, the passing and the cutting that they do on the offense is a difference maker.
Yeah, always unselfish, almost to a T or to a fault. Guys not willing to take shots. I thought tonight was one of the best jobs I've seen of them, you know, seeing a good shot and maybe waiting for a great shot. Brooks is so elusive, so unbelievably difficult to guard. He does so much breaking down, and I think overall guys just really understand their roles. They know what they do to be successful. They don't move too far outside of their bubble. They have multiple skills, but they're going to do what it takes to be successful as a team. And Tim, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to say it one more time.
Yeah.
This is the defensive rebounding against a really aggressive team, getting so many over-the-back calls. I know that's not a foul, but that's the term for it. And just really kind of getting Boys Town to kind of back off, because with all those shot attempts they've taken this year come a lot of long offensive rebounds, and 75% of the time offensive rebounds turn into good shot attempts.
Well, folks, he has sold Adidas gear on our show this year. He has sold Lululemon pants, and now he is selling defensive rebound T-shirts that will be on sale tomorrow morning on the AG website. But here's a man who's going to sell us some stats. Mark Adele, give us the numbers.
Well, I always thought that offensive rebounds were tougher to get, and that's is the only way I ever scored in high school, offensive rebound basket.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, you got to take your hat off to the Blue Jays here for playing as hard as they did in a game like this after coming off an emotional win against DC West for the conference tournament championship. And I'm so proud of them for playing that hard in the second half and really taking it to a team in the second half that they could have easily lost to.
Yeah, right. That's such a good point.
Okay, we were 24 of 45 from the field, 53%. 5 of 12 from three, 1 of 4 second half. Didn't shoot as many threes, 42%. We were 17 of 22 from the line, 77%. Now, I said if they don't cool off, it's going to be tough. They did cool off, very much so.
I wondered.
I like to think that it was our defense that contributed to it. For the game, they were 18 of 43, just 4 of 18 in the second half, 42%. They were 4 of 15 from three, 0 of 6 in the second half for 27%, and they looked like they couldn't miss in the first half.
Yep.
They were 12 of 21 from the line, 57%. Now, here's a stat that is really hard to believe, given the athleticism that Boys Town has. We out-rebounded them 30-21.
That is because they came in to this game, Mark, averaging over 30 rebounds a game, so that's impressive.
I can see how they do it. We got 10 offensive. Yeah, they got some offensive rebounds against us, too. They got 7. Against athleticism and length like that, you're going to give up a few. And Brooks Kissinger, a monster night. I don't know how many points he had, but he had 12 boards, 6 offensive rebounds.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
So a double-double for him. Malachi Washington just 1 rebound short of a double-double for Boys Town. Turnovers were pretty even, but 3 of our turnovers in the second half were when the game was already decided late in the game. We turned it over 14 times. They turned it over 15. Well, from the frying pan into the fire on Friday night, DC West looking for revenge. Regular season championship on Friday.
It'll be wild there. It's a nice stretch of games. Mark, thank you so much for the work you do. And, Coach, we'll start off with you as Coach Tyler Craven's joining us. I got to tell you, we'll move you over here if you don't mind. Just give me your assessment on this as I move the camera around. It was a barn burner through most of this game. You pull away here in the fourth quarter, but tell me what you said in the post game to the team and your overall assessment.
Number one, they're a lot better than their record, right? So I hope no one, looks at that game and sees their 6 and 7 or 8, whatever they are, and says, wow, that was closer than I thought it would be, because no, they're going to be a hard out when it comes sub-district district play. So hats off to them. They're finding their groove. They were 6 and 3 in their last 9 coming into tonight. Our guys did a great job of adapting to what the pace of play was, how the game was being officiated, which was very solid, and just came out and responded in the second half in a really, really nice way.
Look, I know you wanted to keep Poteet and Washington under 22 between the two of them. Washington got 17 tonight, but Malachi Washington, just take a second to really recognize he is a special player, isn't he?
Yeah, and what a career for him so far, just, to have that incident, whatever, freshman year, and to come to play at Boys Town for 3 years and dang near averaging a double-double 3 straight years is very impressive. So hats off to him. I hope he has a lot of success wherever he goes and plays next year.
Without a doubt. Now, let's talk a little bit about what you just heard Mark Adele say. First off, holding them to 0 of 6 shooting from beyond the arc in that second half. They ended up shooting 42% for the game, but just 4 of 18. It always seems like that defense is just big and clutch for this Blue Jay squad, and they were in that second half again.
I think our guys just take a second to get used to, who they're guarding, what their movements are, how they have moves, right? What do they do offensively? And then once they do find that groove, our guys are just really good kids, man. So they're disciplined. They're locked in for 32 minutes. And I think it shows over the course of 4 quarters that it's not easy to score on us. You might get us in a quarter. You might go on an emotional run, but we're going to respond and we're going to defend really hard. Well,
listen, I know you're not happy with that turnover number, but, man, there's so many things that they did well outside of all the things we love talking about. Jordan Wallman was raving about our defensive boards tonight. What stood out to you, something specific that we did very, very well that you really like to see tonight?
When a team comes out and hits 4 threes in the first 4 minutes, you could overreact and, get too far up, and now they're going right by you, especially a team like them that's so fast and athletic. I thought our guys just did a good job of staying calm, trusting, what we're going to do, and it showed in the fact that we gave up 17 in the whole second half. And how many of those were late games?
That's right. Well, Coach Craven, good luck. Enjoy this stretch.
Thanks.
You had a tough one Saturday, another tough one tonight. And you get to go back to DC West on Friday. This is what you play for, right?
Yep, these are the fun ones. So thanks, Tim.
You bet,
Appreciate
Coach Craven.
You.
Joining us. And look out, he's going to hand off to his brother. Dane Jacobson steps in. You talk about as cool as a cucumber, and this is one of those guys. Dane, when it got tight in there, 35-33 at halftime. But now we did see a technical called on us here in the second half. But for the most part, even after that moment, you guys seem to stay cool and really in control. Talk about being pressured like you were by Boys Town in this game, yet you never let it get away from you.
Obviously, Boys Town is a good team. I've known Coach Crable for a while. I know this is one of the better teams they've had in the last couple of years. But then when we talk to halftime, we just need to be strong, play off 2 feet. And as you can see, every time we do that, we end up winning, coming out in the end and wrapping it up for the dub.
Well, no doubt about it. I mean, when it matters most. I asked this to Coach Craven. I'm going to ask it of you. What is it about this defense? When we need the defense to step up, you give up 7 third-quarter points to Boys Town after giving up 24 in the second quarter. Last week against DC West, 2 points in that third quarter, which really took the Falcons out of it. What is it about this defense when the chips are down, it just steps up?
I just think we pride ourselves on our defense. Our defense helps our offense a lot. So if you notice, the times we give up a lot of points, we also don't score very many points. So the more defensive stops we get, the more offensive chances we can get to spread the ball around to the shooters and the drivers in the post.
And 13 for you tonight, Dane. I got to tell you, again, you seem to come up big when we need you. So does Cougar. We're going to talk to him in a second. But 13 points. Tell me how you got your points now, what you did.
Just to start the game, I attacked the paint. And then once they started playing the zone, you got some wide open threes. I hit a couple or just one. I hit one after the whistle, but we all kind of shared the ball today, and it was good to see us come together and win.
And you got the nickname The Great Dane for Dane Jacobson.
Right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 it's the greatest nickname in the world. 1 it's not. Where are you at on this?
Probably like an 11 or 12.
Oh, I love it. You come back anytime.
All right. Thank you.
You bet. Congrats. Have fun Friday night. They got DC West Friday night. Cougar cons them. It's always great to have Cougar up here Cougar, listen, your senior year, you guys are having some fun. A tough one Friday night, a tough one tonight. You've played in some big games, Wahoo, Platteview this year. What's this season just been like overall experience?
I mean, it's been super fun. We get to play some really good teams, win some close games, win some hard-fought games, and that's where the fun is in it.
One of the things I love about your game is that so often people don't see the work you do on rebounding. Yeah, they see the end result that you may get the board, but it is rare that a guy gets position on you. Talk about what you do to make yourself such a great rebounder. There's so many times tonight against those bigs from Boys Town where you had tremendous position, and if you didn't get the board, one of your teammates did. So what do you do so well in that rebounding game?
I mean, well, first off, you're right. Those bigs they're big, strong, and athletic. They're some real good players. And you just gotta do the real simple things like get in the right position, boxing out. Even if you don't get the board, you gotta make sure your teammate gets it or something like that.
Yeah, and talk about, since you mentioned their bigs, Malachi Washington, he's special, isn't he? I asked this Coach Craven, what was it like to play against him tonight?
Oh, he's a really good player, man. When he's hitting that outside shot, he's pretty much unstoppable. He's so strong going to his right hand and just a great finisher. He had a nice touch on his free throws tonight. He looked good.
Listen, you put up some nice points tonight. Talk to me. I asked Dane the same thing. I haven't racked up your number 6. We got 4-10, 16. You had an 18-point outburst tonight, Cougs, which we know you're very capable of that. What, again, worked for you tonight to get those points offensively?
I mean, just staying under control and, playing my speed. And then especially when they went to that zone, I'd get in the open spot, and my teammates would make opportunities for me. They'd drive in, make a great pass, and I'd get the layup.
Yeah, well, listen, you get to go back to D.C. West Friday night. It was a tough one last Saturday. They're going to be hungry. What's that going to be like on Friday night?
I mean, it's going to be competitive. They got a great crowd. They're always excited and rowdy, and we're just ready to have a fun one.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats. Another great night for Cougar Conzum. We've sure enjoyed watching the last 3 years, and we're going to enjoy these last 2 months as well. So keep it up on Friday night.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Cougs.
All right. Thank you.
All right, you betcha. And we've got Coach Mose, who's making his way up. When his dad wants to chat, Dad's got to come before Coach Mose. No. Ron, it's great seeing him, and it's great seeing you. A 71-52 win. People are going to wake up tomorrow morning and go, hey, this looked like it was, a walk for the Blue Jays. Far from it. This Boys Town team gave you everything you wanted for 3.5 quarters, or a good 3 quarters. What made it so difficult tonight against the Cowboys?
They're playing well. You'll look at we told the kids you can't look at their record and gauge how good they are because they started out 0-4, and so they're now 6 and they were 6-3 coming in this one in their last 9, and the way they're playing is just different. So we knew this one was going to be tough because they can shoot it, they can drive it, and they've got the bigs. So there was plenty for us to worry about, and they had it going in the first half. In the first half, I don't think it was so much our defense. They hit some shots, and then it was our bad offense that just gave them free buckets. So we were really disappointed with our offense in the first half, giving them a huge chunk of points that you can't give a good team, because they can score the basketball. The pace they create is really, really fast. And so eventually there we figured it out in the second half and had a really, really good second half.
And that's what I was going to say. How did you counter that pace? What did you come up with strategically? It was right in front of us. But, clearly they didn't get the number of shots in that second half, and you were able to strategically kind of do some different things. Walk us through that.
This is the part where we just say we executed our game plan a little bit cleaner, right?
Same thing you wanted in the first half, just executed it in the second.
Coaches aren't smart. We aren't smart enough to go in there and change anything, so we just keep it the same. How many turnovers? I didn't chart, but
well,
I didn't
we have
look.
14.
Okay, so how many at half? Do you know?
Yes, 9 at half.
Okay, yeah. So you commit. You cut it down in half almost. And that's going to give you better defense. So that was 6 to 8 to 10 points in the first half that we didn't give them in the second half. That also means we're getting 5 more shots. And in the first half when we took shots, we made a good percent of shots, So that's kind of just the kicker. And that's been kind of our I don't want to say struggle, but that's kind of been the one thing that's held us back in our last 6 to 8 games is turnovers. And we've turned it over too much. And it hurts your defense and it hurts your offense. And once we figure that stuff out a little better, we're really good, you know. So in these tight games like we had on Saturday and like we had tonight, we just have to lock in and take really good care of the ball. We're going to have 6, 8, 9 turnovers, and that's fine. We can't do that in a half. Saturday we had 6, I believe, in the game.
Yes.
So we're fully capable. We had done that in the year. You know, we were a low turnover team our first 6 or 8 games, and then, you know, poor coaching and stuff like that. It just kind of multiplied on us. So we're going to try and clean it up.
Well, I know Jordan Wallman's got a question or two for you. I'm going to turn it over to him.
All right, Coach, maybe looking ahead to Friday, got another shot at DC West. Last week you guys played them for an NCC title game, but you know, what did you learn in that DC West game, and what are you guys going to try to look to do?
I think we've learned a lot in the last couple games. Just about, you know, our composure, responding to challenges, responding to adversity. We were down at half. It's always great to say that after a win, but that's great for us, you know. We were down at we got up against DC West early. They stormed back and took the lead. We took it back before half, and then we're able to kind of maintain that in the second half. So I think in the last couple games, just struggling, responding, figuring out how we're successful in those types of situations will be really, really good for us down the road, because we want these types of games that challenge us and that we have to really work for. Because we've got really, really good kids.
And one other thing I've got for you, you talked about challenge and you talk about adversity. In that game, of course, last 2 games, you've definitely seen some adversity. Tonight, the technical. And by the way, Cade Bridges, I vouch for that kid any day of the week. He's a terrific, terrific kid. Just let the emotions get him a little bit. But at that point, 2 things can happen, right? They can kind of fall apart a little bit for you to respond. I thought your team did a great job of working through all of that. And really at that point, it was kind of the impetus for a big run for you at that point. So how pleased are you that they faced some adversity in these last couple of games and really responded well?
I think it's huge, you know, because it's such a unique situation. Last year, you know, when we were always up on the scoreboard for almost a majority of the games, it's a different type of pressure. It's a different type of feeling. You get a little maybe hesitant on offense. You know, you feel the pressure, so to speak. And so we've been in that, you know, more so this year. And we've really done a good job with it. That, you know, it's strange that a technical on us sparked us.
And I'm not sure that was a spark, but what happened is you didn't go backwards.
That's what you kind of said, though, without saying it. So I just used the word spark.
Can I say I was misquoted? Or is
You certainly can. I didn't look at it from that point of view. We maintained our aggressiveness at that point. We continued to attack the rim, to take care of the ball. We responded in the right way. I think all those things come together, and we really got on a roll there in the last, you know, 8 to 11 minutes of the game. And so you're almost good that happened, that, you know, we got to control our emotions. And not just him, but all of us, coaches included.
Sure.
We have to, you know, maintain our composure. We can, you know, we can show our emotion, but we don't want to play emotional, because that gets you in trouble. And so that's what we kind of did in that situation. We got too emotional, and we just, you know, that sometimes leads to some trouble.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Yes. Syracuse, DC West. Syracuse is up with two points with 3.9 left.
Wow.
Not surprising.
No,
you know,
yeah.
They Syracuse played really well in the conference tournament. Got one of their players back and won their game after. Battled DC West tough for the first half, and then DC West kind of, I think, expanded that lead. And so to travel down there to Syracuse, now they're at home, and you just played them tough. So good competitive game. And so the game at DC West, it's usually senior night. They're always excited to play us, and so we just kind of went into their court and won. And so it's going to be just another game where we want to execute at a high level, and they're going to hit threes, and they play the same, very similar to Boys Town, just a fast pace. They're athletic, they push the ball, They got guys that can shoot it just like Boys Town. So we're kind of prepared now. We've seen them and then this, so it really feeds into it. That's really nice for our kids to get the hang of it. And so now it's just about which team goes out there and maintains their composure, hits some shots, takes care of the ball. The team that does that better will probably be in a good position on Friday.
17-1, 18-1, Coach, is where you're at. 17-1, 17-1. Sorry, you were 16-1 coming in there.
Hey, you can make us 40-1 if you want to.
I got the spark, and then I got the record wrong. So you go enjoy the time with your family. Congrats on the win. Firecracker of a venue on Friday night. You know that in DC West. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It will be. Thanks for calling the game, guys.
Absolutely. You bet. Jake Mose. And we continue with the longest post-game show in the history of high school basketball with this summary. And, Jordan, I'll let you wrap it up here as we see this Blue Jay victory tonight.
Yeah, definitely a challenging game tonight. A great Boys Town team comes in. Blue Jays fight through some adversity down at half. Come back and really take care of the ball in the second half and get it done, come out with a 20-point victory.
All right. Well, it is always a pleasure working with this guy to my left, Jordan Wallman, and Mark Adele, who does a great job racking the numbers. Once again, the Blue Jays win 71-52. They'll be in action on Friday night. We'll have that for you on agbluejays.com. But for Mark and Jordan, I'm Tim Washburn saying so long. We'll see you.